Hey guys, how are you today? As we know, it is Tuesday on Tuesday. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, y'all know I come to you guys and I give y'all educational videos. So within this video, as we can see that we've been talking about disclosing. I've been having Disclosing series. I will have the videos at top of the last 4 videos we had talking about when, how, after, and how to disclose to somebody that you're currently in a relationship with. So this video, as the next 2 videos for this, well, this video and the next video will kind of end the disclosing series. I really want us guys to kind of come into a thought process of understanding before what you need to do kind of before you get into this disclosing place. Before you get to a place, every time we find out, after you find out you get your diagnosis, you want to know, how am I going to disclose? How am I going to be in a relationship? How I'm going to have kids? How I'm going to do this? House, wins, all that stuff like that. But a lot of us are neglecting the part that will get you to do these things or get you to the place where you can feel like you can. Many of us can't do these things because we got our acceptance versus our disclosures. A lot of us are not on the side of acceptance, but worrying about the disclosure part. It's very difficult to disclose or even want to be in a relationship. I want to be touched or want to be looked at or even want to be dealt with or even deal with people if you haven't got to a place of acceptance with yourself. So it's very interesting when it comes to acceptance. I'm not telling you to be nice. I'm not telling you to forget what they said. I'm not telling you to forget how they treated you. I'm not going to tell you to take them back. I'm not going to tell you not to be hurt. I'm not going to tell you not to cry. I'm not going to tell you that your feelings are not valid. I'm not going to say any of that because the hurt is there. The pain is there. What you've been through is there because everybody's situation is different. As many people watch my videos, I have hundreds of people plus watch these videos, and on top of that, I'll tell you every story I get into my inbox, every story I get on the phone with is different. Everybody's situation different. Some people had sex with one person, some people had sex with multiple people, some people had sex within different time frames. People been in relationships, out of relationships, people was faithful, some people wasn't faithful. All of these situations are so different. Some people was taken advantage of. Let me not leave that out. Some people were molested. All right. So it's very important that we have to understand that your situation is going to be different for every person, and your acceptance may take a different time frame or a different process than others. Now, if you've been in a situation where I had a young lady where literally she was threatened and abused, and she had to go to court and all these things and put this guy in jail for the things that he had done to her because he just literally gave her herpes and literally exposed her to the world. And that's hard. That is very hard because she got to get to the point where my life was flipped upside down. This guy truly embarrassed me and slandered my name. And then we have young ladies who was in a relationship and she didn't know that that her boyfriend had, and end up contacting, and it's really hard on her. Or a situation where you're in a relationship, the herpes come up, but he ain't the person who gave it to you, or she ain't the person who gave it to you, and that makes it very hard because you're like, I just knew it was you, and comes back because you've seen the test results, not just because they told you. People tell you anything just to kind of get you off their back, or just because they don't want to deal with the reality. So just to give y'all some situations, I want you to understand, before you get to want to disclose, before you get to a place that you even want to be in another relationship or be intimate, or even give your, that old partner a chance, even if it's somebody from the past or somebody from the present, it's important to get to a place of accepting yourself, accepting the whole situation. I don't care how messed up the situation is. You have to get to a place of accepting it. And a lot of us want to it's too bad, I can't accept it. Just because it's bad doesn't mean you can't accept it. You have to see what happened. You have to sit down and understand this is your story, and know your story don't sound nice, know your story don't look right, know your story may not be glorified or accepted by everybody, but at the end of the day, it's your story. And if you want somebody to be with you and love you and accept you for you, you gotta first accept you for you. A lot of us want to focus on the disclosure because we want to be accepted by other people, but dang darn it, you don't even accept yourself. That's hard. That is very hard for you to want want something for somebody else and don't want it for yourself. You gotta want it for yourself and do it yourself. A lot of us are neglecting that part. So when you do get accepted by somebody, you don't even believe them. You don't even like, why would he want to be with me? Why would she want to be with me? Why would somebody want to be with somebody with herpes? That's nasty. I'm damaged. I can't believe they want to do that. They want to do that because they see past that, but you can't see past that because you have not accepted your story. You have not accepted how you got here. And some of us don't even fully understand it, but that's okay. That's okay, but you really got to take the time to sit down and look at the situation, look at the information, look at the word, read the text messages again out your feelings, read them out loud, write them down, write down how you feeling. If you're angry, still be angry. Don't be taking your anger with somebody else. A lot of us are taking that anger with the person who gave it to us and want to be in a relationship. I know he don't want to be with me, and I know this and I know that. Well, you still mad at your gifter. Okay, and I don't like to use that word, but we're going to use terminology that we do understand within our community. But at the end of the day, it's like you're having a hard time because you haven't understood. You still haven't wrapped your head around how you got here. And sometimes you really just need to talk it out and take time to process it all. Processing it all may not take a month. It may not take 2 months. It may not take a couple of months. It may take a year for you. And be okay with that. But a lot of us are in a rush to say, I want to get back out there and date again. I want to go back out there and be happy. I want to be back out there and realize that my future is not over. My whole thing, none of that's over, but you can really mess yourself up getting back out here and you have not accepted who you are. You have not really got the knit and the grit of your story. You have not dealt with the reality of your story. And you have not literally let go of what happened. And yes, some situations are really hard to let go. And I'm not telling you forget it, but I'm telling you got to get to a place of just saying, you know what, this happened. I dealt with my emotions behind it. I dealt with my mental state behind it. I am in a good space. I can accept somebody else and all that they bring with them as much as all that I bring with me. But you can't expect to take all that with you and then allow that person to bring their stuff in and think it's going to be good. The relationship could be real jacked up because you're just not in a good mental space. I have talked to many women and men who got in relationships they were not ready. And I'm telling you, they tore the relationship up. Not because because of herpes, it's because they just weren't in a good headspace. And my whole thing, stop getting into places where you're not ready. And it's okay to say, I'm not ready. It's okay to say, I ain't dating for now. It's okay to say, I'm going to stay to myself. I'm going to stay single. Nobody tell you to stay single forever. But I'm just saying, it's best to be by yourself, get yourself together, because a relationship is about two people who are in good spaces, who are healthy, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally healthy, and get into a relationship. Nobody's saying they don't have baggage. Nobody's saying they're not having bad days. Nobody's saying that they're still not working on things, but they're in a space where they know they can take on another person, accept another person, and be able to compromise, able to be accepting of that person and whatever they bring, able to help that person through whatever they're going through. They do vice versa. But a lot of us, we want everybody to take on a whole issue with herpes and to get all involved and to read all the books with us and to look up all the information with us. Do it on your own. My whole thing, do a lot of this on your own. You can't expect another person to do it. A lot of us are failing to do the acceptance work before the disclosure. And I'm telling you, I hear it, I see it all the time. I did it, guys. Please, I'm trying to tell you, I did it for myself as well. It's just very important that you take the time to do the work. Take time to do the work. Take the time to be still long enough to get what you need. Get into a space where you can vent. Get into a space where you can cry. Get into a space that somebody gonna tell you the truth, and you may get upset, but you need to hear it. You need to get into a space where you don't feel judged. You need to get into a space where you feel like I can just say whatever I need to say, and I'm gonna have the support. And sometimes, sadly to say, a lot of us are doing this on our own, and that's why we're like, I just want to move forward. I want to move forward, but sadly, you can't move forward because you haven't even got through what you really need to go through. So this is the biggest thing I want us to understand. Take the time to get through. Take the time to get through. Yes, your processing is different from my processing. This disclosing series may not make sense to you, period. This disclosing series may say, Belize, this doesn't relate to me. I don't feel like, this works for me. Belize, I feel like, all of it I can't get with. Oh, Belize, I think you should have said this. Oh, Belize, I think you should have said that. You're right. You're absolutely correct. I don't want anybody to feel like they're wrong, because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of what I share is from experience. A lot of what I share is what I hear that I deal with other clients. But I want you to understand, remember, what I tell you is not going to always fit. It's not always fit your situation. And we're living in a time, and I was literally just talking to my mom about this, where sometimes we want everything to fit us. And I'm going to tell you, everything's not going to fit you because you got to take the time and make it fit you. You got to make the time to sit down and say, okay, I got some general information. Let me see how some of this can benefit me and leave the rest. And sometimes you can't hear everything because you're still stuck in a place. You're still stuck in acceptance piece. You're still stuck with being hurt. You're still mad. You're still dealing with the person who keep hurting you and lying to you and using you and abusing you, who you believe gave you the virus, or who just really don't have no good for you. You know, so sometimes you're still stuck somewhere and you want to move on to another level, which is moving forward and finding somebody who do really accept you and love you and want to be with you, but you're still stuck somewhere else. So sometimes the information may be relevant to you, but just not relevant at the time. So I always tell you guys, everybody's different with herpes. This virus is not general. It don't function the same for everybody. It don't affect people the same. It's just different. It's completely different. Some have outbreaks, some don't. Some people go literally just mentally destroy them. Some people it don't. Some people are able to get back out there. Some people never do. You know, so my whole thing is I want you to understand this. Stop looking at herpes as a way to kind of like give me all the answers. It ain't. You really got to take the time to step back and say, how did herpes affect me? How did herpes change me? How did herpes make me feel like I am different? And I feel like, and I'm reading a book right now by this guy named Rich, which is really, really good book, which I'm almost done with it. I'm going to come back and tell y'all about it. But he's like, literally, it changed his id and his ego. And I truly do believe that. Like, literally, most doctors don't want to talk about this because they know it devastates people. It literally causes people to go into mental distress. Literally, it has been said in many medical articles or blogs that they don't like to share this, and CDC used to say it back and they kind of changed what they said, but they didn't want to say it, or they don't want to tell people or even test people because it caused anxiety. It caused people to go mentally bonkers. No lie, they go bonkers because of the stigma behind it and the lack of information behind it and what we don't understand behind it. Cause people to go into a mental frenzy before they even know their status. So when you do know your status, you really go into a mental like fart, because at the end of the day you don't really have the resources. You really don't have the that's it. You really don't have the full resources or guide to get you through. But I want to tell y'all something. Any situation you go through, number one, you do want a lot of resources, and that's why you have me, as best as I can give y'all all the resources I can give y'all. That's why we have Google. Sometimes Google is not our best friend, but it can, if you continue to cipher through and kind of weave through, you can find some great resources. That's why it's other herpes activists out here who can help you and guide you. But sometimes you really, and after all the resources, you have to sit down and digest. And a lot of us are not sitting down and digesting. Acceptance is digesting. Okay? Acceptance is digesting. Have you truly accepted your herpes diagnosis? Honestly, I really want some people to put their hand up and say, not me, not yet. And say why. Because at the end of the day, sadly, say a lot of us are not really telling ourselves why. Is it because you're still angry? Is it because of this? Is it because of that? But my whole thing, if you don't know why you're still not moving forward, how are you going to move forward? You can't. It's no way. It's a process of everything. And a lot of us are trying to skip processes. You can't. I'm talking to myself in many ways with different situations. What I'm talking about, I can use for different things in my own life. But some of us want to get to the promised land, but have not and don't want to deal with why we're still in the desert. I mean, literally, why are we still walking around and walking around? It's because you still haven't accepted. You have to accept and believe that, number one, my life, it ain't over. Number two, how did I even get here? And number three, that my life is not the end. But a lot of us thinking the end, but haven't realized that, let me get to understand how I even got to this place. And it's not because you're a bad person all the time. It's not because you promiscuous all the time. It's not all of that. But the lack of knowledge is for the main half of our reasons why we are here. But we don't want to accept that either. But my whole thing, without acceptance, disclosure is a no-go. I'm going to tell a lot of us, stop worrying about disclosure. Worry about acceptance. Okay? Worried about get to a place that you can accept yourself, get to a place that you love yourself, get to a place that you know who you are now. I'm going to tell you, every situation you go through is going to change you a little bit. No situation you're going to go through, you're going to go back to the same person. You're not. You don't supposed to. Every mistake, if you want to say, or every situation, or every high, every low, you're going to change. Question is, how are you going to change? Are you going to change for the better? Or are you going to change for the worse? And sadly to say, sometimes this can change us for the worse because we think the worst of people now. We think that people are evil and people are mean and everybody hates us and everybody's against us and, everybody don't want to be with us and we're damaged. And that's not true, y'all. But if you believe it, who else can tell you that it's not true? And I can sit here until my head pop off and I can yell and I can scream and I can tell you you're going to be okay. But if you don't accept that you're going to be okay, it's not much I can keep saying. And I can encourage, and I'm not going to go nowhere. I'm going to keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. And I hope you keep watching the videos and hope they, one day it really click for you. I hope one day that you talk to somebody and it really click for you. I hope one day you just talk to yourself and you say, self, we got it. Self, we're fighting. Self, we're moving. Self, we're moving forward. And a lot of us haven't did that yet. We have not had real heart-to-hearts with ourselves. We may have heart-to-heart with groups, and we may have heart-to-heart with me or other activists, or have heart-to-heart with our moms and our friends. But my question is, have you sat down in your bed, in your room, in your quiet space, in your car, or wherever else you can have a quiet moment at, and really had a heart-to-heart to yourself about what really happened? Because sometimes that's what we're really missing. A really big heart-to-heart with ourselves about where we are in our lives and what is going on with our lives. So my whole thing is, you have the ability to move forward. You have the ability to live a normal life. You have the ability to have kids. You have the ability to be married. You have the ability to live the life that you dream of. But without getting to a place of acceptance, that is impossible, y'all. It is really impossible. And I know that can be very, that can hurt your heart, but my whole thing is only hurting because you haven't did it yet. And when you do it, you're like, I get what she's saying. I get now why she said you have to accept yourself, because I'm telling you, that relationship is not going to always be easy. That relationship is not going to always be perfect. It's not always going to be great at your job. Your kids ain't always going to be healthy. You're not going to always be healthy. You're not going to always feel good. People are not always going to be alive. It's going to always be something going on. So my thing is, you want to get to a place where I can accept this. And then when life happens again with something else, I don't have this holding me back from dealing with the new thing that's going on. A lot of us are taking on life after situation after situation after situation after situation, and now you're all jumbled up, bumbled up. You don't even know why you feel what you feel. You don't know what's going on. You don't know why you hate this person and love this one. You don't know why you love yourself and hate yourself in the next moment. You don't understand, because so much stuff keep happening. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to take everything and put it in its own spot. You gotta take stuff out and put it in its own spot. You can't deal with everything at once. If you ever been to therapy, ever been to school for therapy, like for counseling, or ever read anything about counseling, the first thing they do is like, why are you here? And most people say, I don't know, because you got so much going on. And then they start asking you questions. So what's been going on recently? What you been feeling recently? And then they start breaking it down, and they start to see that it's multiple things happening. And they start dealing with one thing, deal with that. Go to the next thing, deal with that. Go to the next thing, deal with that. They don't deal with things all at once, because you cannot deal with everything all at once. You have to stop and deal with each thing that's causing havoc in your life at the time. And some of us just want to put it all in one pot and say, I just want to be all great all at once. That sounds great, but that's just not how life works, guys. Life don't work like that. We do not have a rule book fully of how to deal, even though the Bible helps really, really great. But at the end of the day, it's still many things that's confusing. It's many things that's hard to deal with. It's many things that we don't understand. But that's why we have each other. That's why we also have our inner being that helps you and assists you. But also, it's just that little thing that tells you you're going to be okay. And you will. You will be okay. But you have to understand, you have to sit down and make the time to get okay. okay, to get okay. So I love you guys. I hope this video helped you guys in so many ways. I hope this encouraged somebody. Please share this with somebody who just like, girl, I can't wait to be with somebody. I need to focus on disclosure, and you know your friends really ain't accepted herself yet. Please share this with her or him. Because I literally get messages all the time about different things, and I see that you haven't accepted yourself yet, and that's why you're struggling. And I really want us to get there. I'm telling y'all, I'm not where I am pertaining to herpes because I have other issues in my life, but I have not, I didn't get to this place because I just got here. I got here because I just had to accept my story and the behaviors I did, or the things that I did, or the things I accepted, or why I did what I did. I had to really get real with myself. And a lot of us are not real with ourselves. And that's why you're struggling. It's time to be honest with yourself. Stop trying to create a facade and trying to be what everybody wants you to be, and understand who you are today. And whatever you are today, you need to be okay with and know that you can change it. It's possible. It's possible. Now, if everybody else change how they feel, that's their dang business. But at the end of the day, you can change how you feel about yourself today. And don't live up to other people's outlooks. This stigma is an outlook of what you should be or what you are. And it's not true. It's not true. Stop believing everything you hear. What you believe is what you believe. So if you believe the stigma, that's what you're going to become. You're going to feel worthless. You're going to feel all those things. But if you don't believe it, you're not going to become it. So I love you guys. You know where to find me. Like I said, y'all know the tour Overcoming Gathering is going to be in September 13th and 14th. We're in New York, and then Houston, October 12th and 13th. Can't wait to see you guys there. Make sure you get your tickets. That information is over in the community section if you want to go there, or it'll be below if you feel like, hey, Belize, I just want to talk to you because I'm still struggling with getting my mind together. I kind of just need to vent it all out. I need to talk to somebody who get it, and I don't feel like I have anybody for that. Hey, set up a session with me at www.overcomingrthestigma.com. And guys, check out my new website. Tell me how y'all feel about my new website on www.stdlifecoach.com. And let me know what y'all think, what y'all need. If y'all have any new series y'all want me to talk about, put them below. If it's any new topics y'all want me to talk about, put them below. And I will talk about them, but I have probably, like I said, one more video outside of this video that I want to talk about, and this series will be over. So I hope this series is truly helping you guys. If you have anything you want to share about the series, you can put it below, or hit me up on my DMs through my social medias, through Facebook or through Instagram, Belize Spivey on Instagram, or email me at overcomingrthestigma@gmail.com and tell me how you feel about it, or what you think about it, or what you don't like about it. I'm all open to all of it. I won't get offended. My whole thing, everything is just opinion to me. And I'm open to hear your side of the story, or even help you clarify something you didn't understand. So with that being said, guys, love you and talk to you soon. Bye.